Volcano safety tips. What to do before an eruption. Unlike earthquakes, volcanoes rouse from sleep with some notice, shaking the ground, bulging their flanks, or shifting the gases wafting from their craters and vents. And for many volcanoes near populations, scientists closely watch their every move, which allows them to better understand when they might burst to life. So if you live near a volcano, or plan to visit one, familiarize yourself with the local monitoring agencies. Understand where you can safely tromp and where you need to steer clear, regions known as exclusion zones. It's also important to look up evacuation routes and hazards specific to your location. Some places offer regular updates of volcanic activity. For example, the U.S. Geological Survey's Volcano Notification Service emails information about monitored volcanoes in the United States, which boasts more than 10% of the planet's active or potentially active volcanoes. Another vital preparation step is assembling an emergency kit that includes supplies like food, water, respiratory protection, eye protection, and a battery-powered radio. When preparing your kit, consider each member of your family and their needs, and don't forget your pets. The Department of Homeland Security has a detailed guide about putting together a kit for many different contingencies. Even if you are just visiting a volcano for a day, make sure you are traveling with appropriate footwear, first aid supplies, and plenty of water. Volcanoes can change very quickly and eruptions can begin with little to no warning, cautions volcanologist Janine Krippner in a blog entry about important safety measures to take when visiting volcanoes. What to do during an eruption? During a disaster, be wary of misinformation and try to stick to official sources, many of which communicate dangers through social media. For example, Krippner has assembled a handy list of official volcano agency Twitter accounts. Follow instructions from authorities during an eruption, and evacuate if you are within areas told to do so. If you are instructed to remain in your home, close all windows, doors, and other points of entry for ash. Bring pets inside and move livestock to shelters, when at all possible. Avoid running air conditioning systems, fans, and heaters during or immediately after an eruption, since they can pull in volcanic gases and ash. Also, fill large containers, sinks, and bathtubs with clean water since eruptions can cause disruptions or contamination of water supplies. If an evacuation seems on the horizon, the Centers for Disease Control recommends gathering additional supplies to keep in your vehicle, which should include flares, maps, basic tools, sleeping bags, and a fire extinguisher. When packing personal items, take only the essentials. And don't forget including at least a week's supply of any required prescription medications. If you don't own a vehicle, contact neighbors or others nearby who might be able to provide a ride in case you and your family need to leave. If you must be outside, try to use a mask whenever possible. The CDC recommends the use of N95 respirators, which can be purchased in a hardware store. While a dusk mask can be used as a last resort, the CDC cautions that they only should be used outdoors for short periods of time when ash is falling. Other ash protection includes long-sleeved shirts and long pants as well as goggles. Be aware of your surroundings, and be extra cautious if you are in low-lying regions or near river valleys as those commonly funnel debris flows. What to do after an eruption? Heed authorities' instructions for when it's safe to go back outside or return to your home. Alert family and friends of your status via text message or using the Red Cross Safe and Well website. Avoid making phone calls unless it is an emergency, as telecommunications are commonly very busy during and after disasters. When it is safe to return home, check the structure and utilities for damage. The Red Cross has helpful guides that detail what to look for when returning after disaster. Also, document any damage in photos for insurance purposes. Don respiratory protection when cleaning up ash indoors or out. The Red Cross suggests removing ash from your roof as soon as possible since it is heavy and cause structural collapse, a problem only made worse with rainfall. However, be extra careful with ash removal if you have breathing problems. Also, if you must climb on your roof, watch out, since ash can also be slippery and cause falls. Such powerful displays of Earth's fearsome force can be frightening, but with some preparation and close following of official instructions, you can reduce the risk of being blindsided by a blast.